Alright, good morning guys. So we're doing something a little bit different here today. We're out here in this little marsh, I guess you could call it. It's kind of like a huge flag pond. This whole entire field out here holds water. It's only about, I don't know, probably 100 yards wide, and then it goes wider out the farther you go, all the way to this tree line. So I'm out here behind my uncle's property. He's got a house just on the border of this here, and he called me up because he's got a hog problem a while back, so I ended up building a trap for him, and I put it out here. I was killing them. I killed a few pigs out here, and so I started trapping out here, and trapped up a few. I had it going for about a year, and then I kind of got hung up with school and work and stuff, so I quit coming out here. But I never took my trap out, so it's here, as you guys can see. This is my hog trap. I got a door, and then I've got a wire that holds it up, and it's on a little post down there. So they come in, and then I'll bait down there by that post, and they'll hit that post, and the door will close. But it hasn't been used in about a year now. So what I'm doing out here today is getting this door back right. As you guys can see, this has been underwater because the door was down for a while. So my panel here doesn't look the greatest, so I'm gonna have to reinforce that somehow. And then I had my wire in there, but it rusted off, so the wire back there from that post has to be resecured. So that's what we're doing today. We got to also dig out under here. We've got two 4x4s going the length of this, so we got to move it, dig it out, and then we'll have to drop it down lower into the ground. That way the pigs can walk on this without being too wary about it. So that's what we're doing today. We'll keep you posted, and we'll probably be making some future videos out of this here soon. I'll probably put a game camera on it. That way I don't have to come out here and check it every single day. Yeah, that's what we're doing. So we'll keep you posted. So what we're doing right now is digging out, because you see these 4x6s, they need to sit lower in the ground. That way the platform is level with the floor or the ground, and then we'll throw the mud that we dig up over top of the platform, and then that way the pigs will be less wary about it, and they'll be welcome to go in there and they'll get jacked up. So I'm just gonna dig for now. Got the other side done. I'm gonna dig this side out, and then I'll show you guys how it sits down in the water and in the mud. Much better. Alright, so we got both sides dug out, as you can see. Just kind of went a little bit lower down in the water. There's a little bit of play right now. It's kind of floating. But we're going to step around all the way around, and we're going to cover this up with mud, and that'll give us enough weight on the platform for it to sink down, and then over time it'll get better and better settled. So. Looking pretty good right now. I like this to be like pretty much no step up for the pigs, and from the ground to the front of this platform there's really nothing there. We got about an inch right now, but once we throw this mud on, this pile of mud right here, that'll all be settled. So that's what we're gonna do now. I'll start in the back, try and kind of evenly place this in there. as you can already see, it's settling down into the ground. Every scoop of this mud is probably 5 to 10 pounds. We've already got a lot of weight on there. Back here, pretty much wet year round. But the pigs do not mind. They actually enjoyed this. So we just picked up a bag of corn before we got here. I didn't know exactly how much work I was gonna have to do to this. I knew it was gonna be in semi-rough shape because it's been sitting in the water for so long, but it's really not too bad. I just gotta fix that wire that holds the door. It's on a little pulley system, but the rod that holds the peg is good, and all the pulley hardware is good. We just got to get the wire. So I'm going to finish this up and then I'll smooth it out in there. So that's really it. Not too hard of a process. So here's what we got. The door's not on right now, but so we gotta go fix it still. So we got all this mud and sticks, grass, all this stuff in here. And then once the door's in, it slides into these channels. And then the pulley system goes from a wire down to the bottom of the door, up over this PVC pipe that rolls. It's on a little twisty system here. And then it goes to that hook with a pulley on it. And then it drops straight down from there. And in there's a little U loop coming out over top the plywood. And then my little peg goes down in that, hooks onto it, just barely enough to where if I put some corn around it, pigs will come in, they'll knock that peg off, and then the door will then drop. So I'll just show you guys just how bad these pigs are tearing up my uncle's yard. I got a game camera here as well. We're going to switch that one out for a cell cam. This is the peg I was talking about, so it drops down. I gotta get a new wire and hardware for this. But it drops down, hooks on, and they'll hit that off. But I'll show you guys just how bad it is. Back here, as you can see, here's his house. Not very far, but they come in here and tear all of this up and just ruin his lawn. It would probably be in his best interest to get a fence, because I just can't take care of all of them. So these hogs breed way too fast. But you can see there's a hard game trail, and then this wood line all the way around. There's hog trails and whatnot all the way around. So they're in here pretty active at night. I've killed a few with thermal scopes, but it doesn't really touch them. We gotta get traps going, and on top of that, try and kill them. So we're gonna run to the store now and get some hardware for the trap. We'll come back, fix it up, and then we'll set it. See you guys back here. All right. So went into town. We got the hardware we needed for this trap and its pulley system. So we got the door back on. What we did was we bought new wire. This is nice sheathing on the wire, but got a couple of these clamps and reattached it down here at the bottom of the door in the middle, and then over this hook. It goes over this here, so it has free spin, and then it goes over this hook that's clamped onto the top, down onto this peg, and then down there at the bottom we have a just a little U hook. Sits like that down there at the bottom, and it clips on right onto the push right onto that peg, and it's just set off by nudging it. So I'll show you guys how I set this trap, and I'll demonstrate me touching the peg in there, and I'll show you how it closes on itself. And then we're gonna get some corn. We're gonna put some corn in there around that peg, maybe spread a little bit around the trap, not too much though, because we want them to actually go into the trap. And then right now we don't have a game camera that I can put on it, but I'd be extremely surprised if we got anything in here the first night or two, because it's been untouched for about a year, and we're putting our scent all up in here, digging around and whatnot. So I wouldn't be mad if we did get a pig here in the morning, but if not, I wouldn't be surprised. So we'll get a game camera out here soon, and then that way I'll be able to show you guys what they're doing at night, how they're feeding, how many are coming in, the size of them, that kind of thing. So I'll set you guys up and I'll show you what we do. Alrighty, so we got our trap here. What I do is I angle the door up and I set it on itself so there's no tension on the cable. I got it propped up here on the post. I'll come around the side of it, reach in, and then find that peg needs to go on. Clips on that little U. It's sitting like that in there, and it comes down and drops in just like so, and then real gently take the door, drop it back down into its channel, slowly put pressure on it, just like that. So we got the door set, still got to bait it, but I'll show you guys a little closer. We got the door set, it sits just like this. So pigs will come in from this trail, this trail, this trail. They got a hard trail here, another one going that way, and they'll come in, go down to that peg where the corn's gonna be, and they'll nudge it with their nose, and they're trapped. So just a demonstration. What I'm going to do here is hit this peg with the stick very gently, and I'll demonstrate how the door falls. So here, just going to barely gently touch this, and the door fell. Peg stays up, and the pig is trapped. So very simple setup here, and it's quite effective. I've only had one pig get out of here. Sorry, I take that back. I've had pigs that were about 30 pounds. I got 2 at one time, and this is a regular cow panel. You can see the pigs jump up here and mess up all of this paneling, but I've had some good ones in here. I'll show you guys a couple clips of the pigs I've got in here. But I've had a couple that were about 30 pounds actually squeeze through these 6x8, I think it is, little squares. So other than that, I've only had one really big pig. He was probably 250, quite a large pig. He was able to lift up on the door.
Yeah,
and
yes sir.
Get his way out, unfortunately. But other than that, I have caught some pretty decent pigs out of here. I think the biggest one that I've actually caught was 180 roughly, maybe closer to 160, and we ended up selling him off. But yeah, so I'm gonna reset this trap. I'm gonna reset the trap, put some corn in there, and then we'll get out of here. I'll show you guys once I get the corn in there how I set it, how much I do, and hopefully we'll see you back here whenever we get a pig in here. This is all hog rooting. It's just absolutely crazy how invasive these pigs are. They forage around in the dirt and mud. I think the main reason though that they're right on my uncle's property is because the grass in his backyard is drier than everything out here where they live. So I think at night they come up because there's worms, grubs, beetles, all types of insects that they can eat. So they love that, but we're right here on the edge of it. And we're gonna throw some corn in here. Another thing I forgot to mention is I put these palm fronds and ferns and stuff around the sides of it, because if I can't get to this pig within a few hours during the day, there is a slight chance they can expire in here out of pure exhaustion because they're trying to get out. And on top of that, the heat, it'll just get to them. So I like to put some shade around so it's real nice and shady in there for them so they can somewhat get comfortable. I'm sure it's not the greatest experience for them when they get trapped in there. So I'll throw some corn in here, I'll show you guys, and we'll get out of here. So that's how our trap's looking. We redid the wire that holds this thing up. So wire goes over that, down on a little pulley system, down to that peg that clips into a little U-loop down there. Corned it up, we put a little bit of juice on the corn. Let's just sweeten it up a little bit, and then I also had some doe estrus in the truck. Figure pigs are super territorial, so that might help just a little bit with something. And then I like to just trail a little bit of corn in, not too much, because then they'll be a little hesitant to go in because they get full off of what's there. But that's what we got. I put some palms and shrubbery around the sides just for a little shade if the pigs have to sit in there too long. And yeah, so it's all set. We're gonna get out of here. This is a huge flag pond, and I have seen a couple deer in here. I'm gonna put a camera up here soon, but it's been a year or so since I've been in here, so it's possible that there's different stuff in here since last time. This is just a big wood line all the way around this, and then against that there's a couple houses, a couple over to this side. Nothing that way, but there is a couple this way as well. I don't think anybody else is really doing anything out here. So we got pigs and stuff coming around all the edges of this place and tearing up people's yards. So I was told to come in here and try and trap them up. So this is what we got. So I will put a game camera on here soon, looking into this trap, and hopefully we can get some footage for you guys of these pigs doing what they do. Good morning, guys. So we got our trap. We're out here at the trap. We figured it's second day after opening, so we were thinking about hunting this morning, but I got this trap and I unfortunately don't have a camera on it yet, so I figured I should come out here and check it, which was a good idea because we have a small boar in there right now. He's at that size where he possibly could get out. But we're gonna try and just lasso him without him getting out, and hopefully that does it. If you guys don't know, you can bar pigs, meaning castrate them, and that makes them to where they only want to eat and get big, and they lose all their testosterone. So you could catch them later on and they'll be a lot tastier, and they won't breed, so they're not messing up the population. Now the reason we're catching these pigs out here is because the owner wants them gone from this area. So what we're going to do is probably castrate this little boar and then relocate them. Hi, buddy. So he's real mad, obviously. We're just gonna stick this down in there. We're gonna try and get him out. So we finally got him. Unfortunately, we got his leg too. It's not really what we want because we want to kind of choke him out. But what I'll be able to do now is grab his leg. Kind of tire him out. So the only problem is I kind of want him to spin around. Whew. As you guys can see, he's still breathing perfectly fine. But we are tiring him out. So what we're gonna do now is I think I'm gonna tie this rope off up here. So that way I can kind of get his leg or his tail, either one. I just want to move him towards the door. I'll kind of let up on him a little bit. This is gonna suck.
So from this point on, I wasn't able to get much more film of this catch because my GoPro ended up dying. From here, what I'm trying to do is get that lasso from around his leg, get it just around his neck, that way I can control him that way. And then after this, what I did was pulled up the door, maintained control of his leg, pulled up the door, and then put my knee between his head and body, and then on his lower torso, just to kind of maintain control, and then I tied him from there. And then we'll catch you in the next clip. I'll bring him to my buddy's house and release him from there. My GoPro ended up dying right here, so I apologize.
Whew. Alright guys, so unfortunately we couldn't get the whole catch on camera because the camera died mid catch, but here he is. He's a little bigger than I thought. He's probably about 60, 70 pounds, but still a young guy. But I think you can tell my buddy's dogs like hunting hogs. But we're gonna throw him back there and castrate him, and then we'll let him go.
So I wasn't able to finish out the video with releasing that pig since the GoPro was dead and I wasn't having other hands to film. But I just wanted to show off this amazing catch with my buddy Mason in his trap a while back. Show off this beautiful animal. But I just want to say I appreciate you guys tuning in Feather and Hide Outdoors. And we'll be posting once a week from here on out. And go down and give myself a like and subscribe. I appreciate you guys watching. See you again.